All right, it's Thursday, January 29th. I'm going to analyze two stocks in this video. First, this ACMR and then a CPNG. So first on this ACMR stock, this is the daily chart. Like many stocks, today it kind of moved lower to start, but it's finding a little bit of buying here as the morning comes to an end. But I really want to look at the big picture on both of these stocks. So the daily chart here you can see is clearly, moving up. And now if we really broaden it out to the monthly chart, you can see here in the long term, this stock has broken out into a new all-time high. So I really like that. And to me, I'm not afraid of stocks that make new, all-time highs of anything. Those are the best stocks out there. And in this case, as we have this monthly chart coming to an end tomorrow, this is the green bar for January. What I want to see going forward to know that this breakout is for real is that any kind of pause that might take place at the all-time highs up here, I want it to kind of hold the midpoint of that bar. So you can see here, like on this big green bar a few months ago, it decided to follow through a little bit, and then on its pause here, it generally held the midpoint of that bar before making another move up. This is an area where it made a big green bar up, maybe trying to hit those highs. Then once it pulled back a little bit, it got below the midpoint. It consolidated more than just, below the midpoint of this green bar. And you could see it took many months before it eventually wanted to start up again. Once that happens, you need a big green bar on the monthly chart to feel comfortable that there could be a move back up. So I like the breakout. This thing, once they go to new high levels, there's no telling where it's going to stop. And these are some of the best stocks in many cases. But let's just watch and see that it holds kind of the midpoint of this bar on, the next month going forward. And if so, then it can go obviously a lot higher. The next stock is that, what did I say? CPNG. So I'm looking at this one out of the, on the monthly chart to start. And obviously we've had a pretty severe pullback. It moved up a lot. It's been in a big downtrend. So I don't really like that in terms of, what that really means. Obviously it curled and tried to move up, and now we're moving pretty strongly down again, pretty heavy volume. So the only good thing possibly, but it's still yet to be seen, is that it did come down and take out. I am very big on broadening formations where, stocks will generally, look for participants up and down, so it can take out lows and then immediately turn back up. So we did take out the low here on this move down. That was kind of once you saw this big red bar and follow through, that was kind of a target. So now the question is, are we just pausing here and going to go to some lower targets, or can this be a reversal area? So in order to become a reversal area, we have to have this weekly chart here now turn up. I could see it's sort of trying to, but you want to see a nice green reversal bar and then follow through. That could be the first sign that could be heading higher. The daily chart here, it is, pausing as it should at that low I talked about, but now it's kind of moving down. So this is a consolidation area to decide whether it's going to continue lower or move up. So, the confirmation's not there, but that's what we need to see in order for the stock maybe to reverse this monthly trend. And then if the weekly chart does turn up, you want to see eventually that monthly chart, which actually starts next, in 2 days from now. We'll see how this new monthly bar forms, because there's going to be an opening price of some form. Like look at this green bar right here. If the opening price kind of holds above its open and stays green all month long into February, that's a good sign. That could be the reversal area. But in order to confirm it, you want that, monthly bar to be green and then follow through. And we're going to have to wait for the entire month of February to find out if that even happens. So let's look at what I call the flip on Monday, which is February's month. See if it could stay above the open and turn green. Let's see if this weekly chart with a day or two to go maybe could, reverse and then have a follow through to the upside. But other than that, I'm not too excited about that. You're kind of, you have to kind of see that develop for the price action to even have a chance to go higher. And, it's not like I would trade it to the downside now because it's already reached its target. But this interesting area here to me is where, it's an inflection point that a bunch of things can happen. And if it can't really reverse up, then it could be heading lower to some of these lower targets. So that's the way I kind of view these inflection points. So this stock's a little trickier. The other one looks good to the upside, and we will follow them going forward.